Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is our day 10 of Python programming playlist, and today we are going to learn about for loop in Python. So what are loops? If we want to print numbers from 1 to 100, then in such cases using 100 print statements is not a solution. For that we use loops. We loop over a number and increase its value again and again. Loop basically means doing a task again and again until a condition is met. It's not only limited to Python, you can find these loops in all the other programming languages like C, C++, Java, and all the other mainly used programming languages. So, Python loops. Many times in our programs, we need to do a repetitive task, and for that, we can use loops in programming. In Python, we mainly have two loops, for loop and while loop. We will study for loop in this video and while loop in future videos later. So in this video we are going to study a lot about for loop, and in this presentation I have shown you the syntax of for loop, and we are going to see this syntax of for loop. Okay, so syntax of for loop in Python. So here I have for I in Python programming, where for is the initialization of for loop, I is the variable which will get updated, and in is a keyword, and again we have Python programming a string. Okay, and we are printing the I in the loop. Okay, so here the value of variable I will update again and again, and it will get printed. So for first execution it will be P, then for second it will be Y, then for third it will be T, just like that. So without any ado, let's get started and let's see this all in action. Hey guys, so we are back with our computer, and so today we are going to learn about for loops in Python. There are multiple programming languages, as you know, and all these programming languages have loops. There are while loops, while do loops, for loops, and in Python basically we have just two loops, for and while. So in this video we are going to learn about for loop, and in our further videos we will learn about while loop. So open your Visual Studio Code. Okay, so as we know, if we want to print 1 to 10 numbers, we can obviously print like this: 1, then 2, 3, 4, let's say 5. Okay, so like this. But is it an ideal solution? Is it a clean Python programming approach, or is it a neat approach? Pepe doesn't recommend this. So what we should do instead, we should use for loops in Python, okay, or any other programming language basically, but we should use loops. We should take help from loops. Okay, so what these loops do? These loops basically, as you have saw in our presentation, what loops do basically? Loops will repetitively do the task, and they will repetitively like if we want numbers from 1 to 10, what we will do is we will use a loop. What the loop will do, it will take a variable and it will update the variable, and it will increase its value like 1, then for the next execution of loop it will make it 2, then for the next execution 3, and just like that up to a limit it will increase or decrease or change or update the value of the variable basically. Okay, so now if we want to print numbers from 1 to 100, we have a function, let's say range. Okay, so we have a function range. It is an inbuilt function just like print in Python, or just like type. So this is the inbuilt function in Python. So what we can do, it takes three values, as you can see here. It will take stop, so the stop value is actually the limit. Okay, then if you go down, okay, so you can see here it will take a start value, a stop value, and a step value. As we have seen this in our strings, that we can print the string, or we can access the string from 0 to let's say up to 10th index, or with interval of 1, just like that we can use this range function. So to print the numbers from 1 to 10, what we can do is 1, we can pass the starting point of 1, we can pass the limit of 10. Actually we should pass the limit of 11, as it will take a number less than the value given. Okay, so if I will provide 11, then it will the range will go up to 10. So that's what this range function will do. So let us simply print this. By printing this, we are not going to see the numbers from 1 to 10, because this is not a loop, but we will take the help of this range function. So by printing this, we can simply see this range, and it is definitely not a string, but it is a function which has these values. So we are seeing this. Now let's see the type of this range function. Okay, so the type of this range function is class range. Okay, so just ignore this class, but as we saw the data types, we have data types like class str, class int. Okay, so just like that, the type of this function is range. It is a built-in function actually in Python. So what we are going to do, it generates, like, basically what it will do is it will generate the numbers from 1 to 11. Okay, but to access them we should use loops. Okay, so what we are going to do, first we will use this for loop. Okay, we will initialize the loop with using this for keyword. Okay, then we will pass a variable. So this I will pass this I. Okay, so in developer community you always pass I in these loops. So for I in let's say range. Okay, so for I in range, or to be more easier to explain it to you in easy manner, what I will do is I will create first of all I will create a string here. Let's say Python programming, as we saw this in our previous presentation. Okay, so what you do, you create a for keyword. Okay, you initialize your loop with this keyword, then you create a variable. This variable name can be anything of your choice. You can use letter, let's say for letter in Python programming. Okay, or alphabet, for alphabet in Python programming, anything you want. Okay, so I am going with letter in Python programming. Okay, so for letter in Python programming, what we want to do, okay, the actual execution, what should happen, okay, for each iteration, we should print the letter. Okay, so if you are confused, then don't get confused so earlier, because just think about it, just think carefully, just listen carefully, that we initialized our loop with this for statement. We have this variable which is going to update as per the execution of loop. For first execution, the letter will be, let's say, P. For second execution, this letter will update from P to Y. For third execution, it will be updated from Y to T. Like that, it will update, and it will go from this P to this exclamation mark, including spaces. Okay, because space is a character in string as well. Okay, so this is what we are going to print. So let us print this. Okay, so as you can see, this letter. Okay, so for letter in Python programming, so what it will do is it will access each character of this string, and it will update the letter, and we are just printing this letter for now. So you can see, for first iteration, the execution is called as iteration, as you can tell, that first iteration, second iteration, that means first execution, second execution. Okay, so for first execution, the first execution of loop, the letter was P. Okay, as you can see, the letter is P. Then for the second execution, the letter becomes Y. It gets updated to Y. For third, it is T. For fourth, it is H, and so on, including this space. Okay, and so on up to this exclamation mark, as you can see here. Okay, so just like that, this letter the value of letter is updating for each iteration. Okay, so just like that, we are printing this Python programming string, each letter of this Python programming string, with using this for loop. Can we do this without using this approach? Can we, if we want to print this like that, we need to print p, then on the new line we need to print y, just like that, using using the using a lot of print functions. We have to print each character. So that's not the ideal way. This is the ideal way to print each character of the string. So this was just a basic example. So now let's modify this for loop. Okay, so now let's say number, okay, in, and here we will use our range function. Okay, so range function, and the start value will be 1, the stop value will be 10. Okay, so you can simply provide the stop value only, and with using this approach you can see what happens. Okay, so this range function is generating numbers up to 10. Okay, as you can tell, it is generating numbers up to 10. Okay, I said up to 10, not including 10. It generates numbers up to 10, not 10. So if you want 10 included, then you must provide 11 here. Okay, so 11, and you can also see that this range function is starting with 0. This range function is generating numbers with or starting with 0, and if you don't want 0, then you can provide 1 as a starting point and 11 as an ending point. So let me clear the terminal first, and now let us run our program. So now you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, so I can't do this without using this for loop in these with using this, basically with using this for loop, I can do I can print 1 to 100 numbers or 1000 numbers in just 2 lines of code. And without using this approach, I will end up with a lot of print functions like print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, up to 1000 or 2000. So that's not an ideal way. So with using this for loop, what we are doing is we are updating the value of number. So as I have told you, that this range function basically is generating the numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, from 1 to 10, or the values we have passed. Okay, it is generating the numbers from this starting point. It takes this parameter or this number as ending point, and it takes the third parameter or the third value, it takes the third value as you can see here, step, or we call it what we call it, interval. Okay, so it takes the third value as interval. So if I will give 2 here, then you can see, and let's print the table of 2. So to print the table of 2, the table of 2 goes up to 20. So we have 21 here, and the table starts from 2. So you can give 2, or you can simply stick with 1 as well. So I am going with 2. Okay, and now let's run our code. So as you can see, 2 4 6 8, this interval or this step, what is it is doing is it is taking the first number, then not the second, then third, not the fourth, fifth, not this fifth, sixth, like that. Okay, so it is taking 2, not 3, 4, not 5, 6, not 7, 8, not 9. So just like that, and 10. Okay, not 9, 10. So just like that, it is printing numbers with an interval. If we don't want this, okay, if we want to print the table of 3, we will simply do this. Okay, so now what it will do is it will print 3 6 9. So now we don't have 3 4 5 and we have 6, we don't have 7 8, we have 9. So just like that, with using this interval, what we are doing with using this step, okay, or with using this value, the third value in range function will generate the numbers with interval. Okay, so if I want to generate 1 to 100 numbers with step of 2, then this will print all the even numbers from 1 to 100, as you can tell. Okay, but not 0. Sorry, it will print all the odd numbers from 1 to 100. So as you can see here, all the odd numbers are there. And if I will do this like from 0, then you can see we do have all the even numbers. Okay, and what are even and odd? The even numbers are the numbers which are completely divided by or divisible by 2, and odd numbers are not divisible by 2. Okay, so that basically means you can create two parts of even numbers, and you cannot create two similar parts of odd numbers. Okay, so just like that, for example, you can create two parts of 2 of this 4. You can create two parts of 5 and 5 for this 10, and but you cannot create two parts of, let's say, 3. You cannot create it, and you can create them with using decimal values like 1.5 and 1.5, but that's not considered. Okay, so what you will do, what you get is the even numbers from 1 to 100 in just 2 lines of code. This is the power of loops. You cannot do this without using these loops. Okay, so what this range function, we have seen what this range function will do, and we have also saw that how we can use this for loop. Okay, to print numbers from 1 to 100, to print numbers from 1 to 10, to print even numbers from 1 to 100, to print even numbers, odd numbers from 1 to 100, and we also have seen what the interval will do and what all these things will do. Okay, so we have completed our today's session, or we have successfully completed the for loop, and I think in our future video I will cover while loop. We will learn about while loop a lot, and we will also learn about these loops, and we are going to use these loops a lot. Okay, so if you are programming, if you are coding something, then you will use these loops a lot. So practice them a lot and just explore them. So just change these values and see for yourself, observe what changes are occurring, what is happening, and practice this well, because we are going to use this a lot. So with that said, we have successfully completed our today's lecture, our today's video. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, then please consider subscribing and like my videos, share them to your friends, because they can also learn this programming stuff and all. And if you haven't accessed my Python programming playlist, then I will give the link below in the description. And if you haven't watched my previous video, then you can find the link in the I button now. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.